Chief Aldridge was selected by his classmates to deliver the class speech on behalf of the 2019-02 session. Chief. Good afternoon. I just want to say before I get started here that my speech does include the fire departments. So, I want to thank you for attending the IMPD Leadership Academy's graduation for the second class of 2019. On behalf of my class, which is IMPD and 11 different agencies, we're glad that you joined us to celebrate this accomplishment. First of all, we'd like to thank some people that are here today and which had a hand in making this happen. Thank you, Mayor Hogsett, Deputy Mayor Hampton, Chief Brian Roach, other police and fire executives present, our law enforcement and fire service colleagues, the training staff and instructors of IMPD leadership, family, and friends. You're assembled here today because you believe in these individuals sitting before you. You believe in what they stand for, and you believe in what their agencies stand for. I know my classmates want to thank our families for putting up with us during the extra time required to do the staff studies and the projects and the papers. I would like to personally thank my chief, Jared McKee, for your leadership and guidance, and my wife, Martha, for all of your support. Our loved ones put in the real work while we were here doing this experience. An experience that taught us how good leadership can affect all aspects of law enforcement, the fire service, and all aspects of our lives. Leadership is the cornerstone of any successful organization. During the leadership journey, we were presented 4 areas of focus. We focused on ourselves as leaders, the individuals that we lead, leading an organization, and leading toward the future. So speaking of the future, Bill Westfall, if you would, who some of you in this room know, was the main instructor for the IMPD Leadership Academy. He is an inspirational leader for sure. Bill told our class on more than one occasion, multiple times per week, that we could be the next greatest generation. That's a pretty bold statement. One that stopped me in my tracks every time he mentioned it. It seems like a pretty lofty goal, right? Could we really be the next greatest generation? Maybe he meant the greatest generation of public safety. You see, when I think about the greatest generation, I think of the brave men storming Normandy Beach on June 6, 1944, and the men and women that carried on at home. So living up to that standard seems impossible. But in class, Bill could give you example after example as to why it's true. That through gentle pressure relentlessly applied and utilizing the leadership principles that we have already demonstrated to be successful, we could be the greatest generation in law enforcement or in the fire service. As some of you know, he's pretty persuasive. But Bill didn't just say it. He believes it. As I started looking into this idea of the greatest generation, it may be attainable after all. Tom Brokaw wrote a book released in 1998 titled The Greatest Generation. He stated that this generation encompassed those who fought in World War II and those who contributed to the home front during that time. He wrote that men and women fought not for fame or recognition, but it was the right thing to do. So what qualities did the greatest generation have? And what are the qualities that we need in our law enforcement and fire service leaders today for someone to cast such an honored characterization that Bill alludes to? You see, the greatest generation was plagued with war and economic issues, and they overcame those obstacles with great success. That's why they're called the greatest generation. They were successful because of some qualities, some standards. They took personal responsibility, humility, they had integrity, work ethic, and faithful commitment. The challenges and critical issues facing law enforcement today of public perception and understanding, recruitment and retention, school safety, and others can be overcome as well with those same qualities. Public safety personnel today must possess personal responsibility, humility, integrity, work ethic, and faithful commitment. So going back to what Tom Brokaw stated, I would characterize everyone in this class as public safety professionals who are not in it for the fame or recognition, but because it's the right thing to do. I don't believe previous generations had this quality of training available to them. During the capstones, IMPD, the officers involved, dispatchers, family, and friends all come together and are committed to educate their own and other agencies on the hard lessons learned from critical incidents. These individuals relive these tragedies for the benefit of all of us to learn, and for that I thank them for their courage. I would argue that these leaders in public safety today have the same intention and mission at heart as the greatest generation. And we will overcome challenges and obstacles with great success also. So in closing, I will tell you that most training is mundane, seems rather routine, it's not enjoyable, and is usually dreaded, but not the IMPD Leadership Academy. What we have gained are tangible skills, knowledge, mental toughness, and relationships that will make us successful throughout our careers and our personal lives. The city of Indianapolis and the state of Indiana should be very proud to have a leadership academy preparing this generation to be the front runners in the charge of leadership. I'm very honored to be a part of this graduating class, and I'm humbled to have worked alongside my classmates during this experience. So, Bill Westfall was on to something after all. Those qualities, those standards that I spoke of will elevate us to that goal. As Bill would say, if you compromise your standards, you compromise your future. So I ask my classmates today, will we become the greatest generation of public safety?
Wow. So this is our second session of the Leadership Academy in 2019. What most people in the room don't know is 2019 session 1, class representation, or class speaker I should say, was Plainfield. Deputy Chief Cal Pruitt. Are you seeing a trend here? Chief McKee, I don't know what you're doing over there. I know you're a graduate of this program, so you believe in it. So the team you're assembling, excellent, excellent. So thank you for sitting them, and thank you for letting them speak on behalf of our classes. So thank you very much, Plainfield.